individuals. It is TI Day. Dr. Matthew Arngard is with us tonight. What a fascinating show. Breaking the mold, if you will.
เช้ามาต้องทำงานหาเงินเข้าเลี้ยงครอบครัวนะครับไอ้จุดนี้ครับเป็นจุดด้อยนะ
W zakresie właśnie jest wprowadzana teraz sieć 5G.
Par dispositif d'attaque à distance, l'exécutif C, criminalité française et l'OTAN. Donc là, je pense que je vais devoir partir à peine arrivé.
want to restore the rule of law because the criminals are getting away with it. Electronic harassment is the same thing that happens to the diplomats in Cuba and China. They call them sonic weapons, they call them help attacks, they call them mystery attacks. It's actually microwave weapons. But the police won't do anything because they're too afraid or too ineffectual or they have no resources or whatever. They are not helping victims of serious crime. The police, their badge of honor has been turned into a badge of shame. Educate yourself about organized stalking and electronic harassment. Just like the diplomats in Cuba were assaulted with microwave weapons, it is happening to citizens inside the U.S. We want justice! We want justice!
Second International TI Day protest outside the BBC Broadcasting House, Portland Place in London.
Research the areas of targeted individuals, electronic harassment, bank stalking. We need to get the media on our side, make the media aware of these crimes, make the human rights organizations aware of these crimes.
You might be asking yourself, what exactly is a target individual? Being a target individual means that a long-term harassment campaign has been organized against you, in which thousands of humiliations and hardships are orchestrated in your life, causing incomprehensible suffering. Being a targeted person means you're singled out or put on a list, with influence and power to assign multiple perpetrators to harass you at the very least, and in worst cases, to take you down completely. Systematically in every way, through intimidation, predatory stalking, organized group stalking, contracted stalking, surveillance abuse, harassment in the workplace, break-ins, vandalism, theft. They are trying to control us, and we will not be controlled. That's right. I will not allow children and future generations to grow up in a world like this, where this can happen to them. I just refuse. Our lives and hearts, that's right. Anybody out there with kids, grandchildren, that's who we're fighting for.
ที่จะรู้ลงไปในส่วนของเนื้อหานะคะให้ทุกคนพิมพ์ว่า MK Ultra นะคะเพราะว่าเป็นโครงการแรก MK Ultra Project นะคะเพราะเป็นโครงการแรกที่เริ่มต้นนะคะตั้งแต่ปี 1990 นะคะคุณคิดดูว่าตั้งแต่ปี 1990 มีการพัฒนามาถึง 70 ปีแล้วนะคะคิดดูว่าเขาจะพัฒนามามากเท่าไหร่นะคะเพราะฉะนั้นแล้วเราเป็นมนุษย์นะคะเราไม่ใช่ไซบอร์กเราไม่ใช่หุ่นยนต์นะคะอย่าให้ใครเข้ามาควบคุมสมองเราโดยที่เราไม่รู้ตัวนะคะเบื้องต้นเนี่ยเรามีการตรวจสอบนะคะว่ามีคลื่นอยู่ที่ตัวเราจริงหรือเปล่านะคะเราไปทำการตรวจสอบมาแล้วค่ะปรากฏว่าคลื่นยังมีอยู่จริงนะคะแล้วก็รบกวนในร่างกายของเรานะคะเราไม่ได้มากันเล่นๆเราไม่ได้มาบอกกันแค่จุดนี้นะคะเราได้ทำการแจ้งกับประชาชนโดยส่วนมากมาแล้วนะคะอยากให้ทุกคนตื่นตัวนะคะและตระหนักถึงสิ่งที่เกิดขึ้นนี้นะคะนอกจาก MK Ultra Project แล้วทุกคนสามารถเข้าไปดูได้ใน My Control Satellite นะคะหรือง่ายๆพิมพ์ว่า V2K เข้าไปค่ะณปัจจุบันนี้ประเทศรัสเซียนะคะเขาได้มีกฎหมายรองรับในส่วนของการใช้ My Control Weapon นะคะเรียบร้อยแล้วแต่ประเทศไทยของเราค่ะยังไม่มีการป้องกันแต่อย่างใดนะคะเข้าไปหาทางภาครัฐก็มีการบิดเบือนเบี่ยงเบนความสนใจโยนหน้าที่กันไปหน้าที่กัน
We are here today to bring forth truth, knowledge, insight to these deadly programs, operations, to show we have no tolerance for these programs and weaponized technologies, victimizing, harming, hurting, manipulating, controlling, disabling, murdering not only my family members, but that of our nation's citizens.
I've been receiving targeting for 34 years. It probably makes me the senior guy at this meeting today. And 34 years in the making is this flyer right here. So if anybody needs help, I'm not talking about a silver bullet, I'm just talking about the basics of protection and remediation from directed energy weapons. Please see me and get a copy of this flyer. It took me 20 years to figure out what was going on. I thought it was chronic fatigue. It wasn't chronic fatigue. It was external directed energy weapons. Then I thought it was tinnitus. It wasn't tinnitus. It was external directed energy weapons. Get a copy of my flyer if you have these symptoms. I'm happy to share the information. Thank you.
Thank you.
My injuries are consistent with those of direct energy weapons. I have bioeffects of being assaulted with radar waves for 15 years. One injury I have is that of damage to the inner ear, tinnitus, and hearing loss. I require 2 hearing aids now. I have seen Dr. Hoffer in Miami. He examined the American diplomats who were hit with similar weapons. Dr. Hoffer understands what direct energy weapons can do and how they work. I want to ask you, why is it that one doctor is sworn to secrecy for fear of his license being revoked? And why is it that my next door neighbor, who is a psychopath, is a doctor who is pointing this weapon at my ears with impunity? I have documented patterns of how the weapon is used. They like to shoot the skull, the ears, the eyes, and the heart, but they will shoot any part of my body for target practice. I want to share this information with the innocent civilians in the state of California. This is a crime of repeated aggravated assault and perversion. Using this weapon is a crime against thousands of citizens across the great state of California.
Targeting is growing exponentially, and this generation on Earth must engage every effort, every possible energy available to stop targeting, or we will be delivering to our children and grandchildren the worst possible existence.
Even though the motives behind organized stalking and electronic harassment can be difficult to understand, there's a core motive that's common to all cases of covert harassment. The criminals perpetrate these crimes because they know they can get away with it without any interference from law enforcement. The opportunity for perpetrators to act with complete impunity is the unifying motive behind all covert harassment crimes. And that is 100% the fault of law enforcement, because they're not doing their job when it comes to this issue. And that includes the police force right here in Portland, Oregon. Now, this is important. I want you guys to consider this carefully. Inaction by law enforcement is not just allowing a trivial form of harassment to infest our communities. Stalking by individuals or groups of individuals is a crime in every state. Highly organized stalking against a singled out individual is a very serious crime. In many ways, it's as serious as the crimes for which federal statutes were erected to counteract the Ku Klux Klan's terrorizing activities. Directed energy weapons take it to the next level because physical pain is violence. To inflict extreme physical pain on someone by means of a focused energy-emitting device is a violent crime, even when it doesn't leave visible signs of injury. To repeatedly inflict pain on someone this way, day after day, night after night, counts as torture. Bona fide torture with a capital T. Physical assaults capable of causing permanent damage to people's ears, organs of balance, and brain tissue count as violent assault and battery, even when these assaults are done from a distance or through people's walls by means of focused, wall-penetrating microwave energy. Now, that's the kind of crime that police are allowing to grow in our communities through their nonchalance and dereliction of duty. They act like they forget that all tax-paying citizens deserve equal protection under the law. Even if the crimes in question are new on the scene and challenge traditional methods of law enforcement. Offenders firing improvised microwave weapons at people in our communities are acting like terrorists, and they should be treated like domestic terrorists. Let us all remember that criminals are always among the first in society to adopt new technologies. With the rapid growth of technology in this day and age, we ask you to demand that all candidates for office have a public safety platform that explicitly includes emerging technologies. Directed energy devices and microwave weapons are here to stay, and we need to start dealing with them openly. Criminals are already using these weapons. These weapons need to be openly addressed as an emerging technology of concern by the people we put in office. And so you should demand this for the victims whose lives have been shattered by these weapons. Demand it for yourself. Demand it for your children and friends. And demand it for the prosperity and safety of your community.
Next, I'd briefly like to address another group of people who are no doubt listening right now. The people involved in this program, at any level, we need you. Those involved in the targeting, we need you. We need you to stand up, step out, speak up, stand up for your country, stand up for your fellow citizens. You know this is not okay. And the people who are doing the research, gather evidence, put it together, give that evidence to honest journalists. There are a few out there. Give that evidence to honest investigators. There are a few out there too, I know it. We can't stop this without insider help. We need you. We are looking for true American heroes amongst ordinary men and women.
Freedom, 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 baby, freedom, freedom. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, baby. Sometimes I feel, baby, like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel, baby, like a motherless child. Very long. I said freedom, freedom. freedom, freedom, baby, freedom, baby, freedom, freedom. Everybody now, clap your hands now, clap your hands now. Freedom, 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 baby, freedom, 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 freedom. Clap your hands now, clap your hands now.
ตามกฎหมายนะคะเขาเรียกว่าผู้กระทำผิดโดยใช้อาวุธอิเล็กทรอนิกส์นะคะทำร้ายผู้อื่นนะคะก็จำคุกตลอดชีวิตนะคะ
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, babe. Sometimes I feel, babe, like a motherless child. Keep it going. No way.
FFTI, Freedom for Targeted Individuals. We are the Alliance to End Targeting.
Tonight, TI Day, TI Night. Targeted individuals, a day set aside for them, and what it all entails, because it's something that it may affect you eventually.
And if you're a sensitive person and you're willing to look into the topic, to drill down into it, you'll quickly find high-functioning people that aren't lonely and looking for attention. Actually, we're doing the right thing and speaking out. And I think there'll come a day when people will look back and be proud of us for doing that. I think the human spirit and human rights will prevail. And when it does, the pendulum is going to swing back hard, and there's going to be ramifications basically in all kinds of different aspects. And the founding fathers would absolutely be supporting targeted individuals right now.
I really do believe that too. I just think that, once again, we have the Pentagon, we have the Defense Department, DARPA, and all these groups that are proud of their silent weapons.
You mentioned Pandora. It just made me think of the metaphor Pandora's box. In a sense, it's been opened, and I think the resistance to getting this situation under control is because of the consequences that are going to happen when people are outraged about this. But because there's no accountability and there's such high deniability, people on the inside must know how dangerous this technology is.
Oh, sure. They know the benefits. They know what they can use to basically harm someone if they really want to target them and harm them, and that's available. If the technology exists, there is that potential that can be used for ill will. Now, I'd like to thank Dr. Matthew Arngard for being on the program tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Yeah, thank you. This has been a fantastic experience, and we've had real movement out on the streets, and it's given me hope. But talking to you has been the perfect end to TI Day, because you really take on this issue. Your callers are great, and I can see that I'm glad that we have people like you talking to us and advocating for this issue.
Well, thank you. I was glad to be a part of it, because I have done shows in the past about it, but I never really had the opportunity to have as many professionals on the program to talk seriously about it and what every little aspect entails. So I thank you for being on the program, and Dr. John Hall, too, for being on the program
tonight.
My
pleasure. Thank you.
You bet. Join us tomorrow night. We've got another great show for you planned on Ground Zero, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.